Welcome to the fourth lesson in the journey with Natty Mark. This one is called Kings and Queens of Africa, where we're going to be looking at pre-colonial statehood. So we're looking at the kingdoms and states that were there before the European got there. So in the first lesson, we looked at the East African city-states and their importance to the trade across the Indian Ocean. So we're still staying in that time frame, the medieval era, the Middle Ages, and we're going to focus on the Ashanti people who are part of the Akan. I will also mention others because I don't want you to think that this was just one kingdom. There was many kingdoms throughout the sub-Saharan region. And when I talk about sub-Saharan region, I mean the countries below the Sahara. So we're not looking at North Africa. We're looking at Central Africa, West Africa, East and Southern Africa. So as I say, we're going to focus on the Ashanti people who are part of the Akan. Now the Ashanti people kind of ruled most of present-day Ghana. So if we look at the map here, so if we look over here, so we're looking at this region, and this is Ghana here. So the Ashanti ruled most of present-day Ghana, parts of the neighbouring Ivory Coast and Togo, and that's for about 200 years. Okay, so before we actually look into the Ashanti, we're going to familiarise ourselves with the geography of the region to a certain extent. So as I say, all these countries, it's called West African Capital City Connections. So as I say, all these countries here that we're going to look at are in this region here, West Africa. Okay, and as I say, Ghana is there, which is going to be our focus. Okay, so let me get a pen and we're going to go through this together. Okay, so Chad, capital of Chad, N'Djamena. Burkina Faso, although it's spelled with a, you might look at it and think, oh, Ouagadougou, but it's actually pronounced with a W, so Ouagadougou. Ouagadougou. Okay? And then we come to a Guinea, Conakry, Senegal, just across, Dakar, Gambia, formerly Bathurst, Banjul, Mali, Bamako, Ivory Coast, formerly Abidjan, now Yamoussoukro, Guinea-Bissau, you can guess that one, Bissau, Liberia, Monrovia, and the last one, Mauritania, which is obviously Nouakchott. So, because if I'd said to you, you know, kind of, what's the capital of Scotland? You would have said Edinburgh. You know, what's the capital of Ireland? Dublin. So this is just to kind of give you an introduction to some of the countries and cities of West Africa. Okay. Right, we're going to take that one off there, and then what we're going to do is to put this one on as we explore the Ashanti. Okay, now we're going to do this through a close exercise. So what I'm going to do is put the exercise on the floor, and then around it we're going to put the countries Oh, sorry, the words that are gonna fill in the gaps in the sentence. And through that, we're gonna give ourselves an introduction to the Ashanti, or Ashanti, which is the original term. Okay, so let me just get a biro. Lovely. Okay, so as you can see, the Ashanti ruled over present-day Ghana, as well as. So I must say that each dash corresponds to a letter. So if we count the amount of dashes, then that will give us a clue to which word goes where. So the Ashanti ruled over present-day Ghana, as well as portions of. We're looking for a 4-letter word, so that will be Togo. Okay, so Togo, Togo, and so we've got the last word. It's a 2-letter word, so coast. So that is going to be 5 letters, 5-letter word. Could be Fanti, could be Stool, but we're looking for a name of a country, so it's Ivory. So Ashanti ruled over present-day Ghana, as well as portions of Togo and the Ivory Coast. Okay, lovely. The next one says the Ashanti Union was formed by Osai. So looking for a 4-letter word. We've got 3 there. Could it be Osai Tree? Could it be Osai Akan? It's Osai Tutu. Osai Tutu. When we think of Tutu, we tend to think of the civil rights icon in South Africa, Desmond Tutu. Osai Tutu and a comfy. And, well, we're looking for a 6-letter word. A 6-letter word. Now, there's 2 6-letter words left here. It could be Kumasi, but Kumasi was the capital city of the Ashanti. So the only other 6-letter word is this one, Anochi. So the YK in Chui. So Chui is the language of the Ashanti people. TWI, Chui. And YK is pronounced a ch sound. So you might look at that and think, Anoike or Anoike, but it's actually Anoche. So we put that there. Comfy Anoche. So these were the 2 co-founders of the Ashanti Union. So Osai Tutu was the first king, or Asante Hene, and Comfy Anoche was a priest who was his kind of advisor. Okay, this union was formed in. Now I haven't got that one down there, but that was formed in the late 17th century. In the late 17th century. Based at, as I said, based at Kumasi. Based at Kumasi. Kumasi in the forest region. So as I say, Accra is the capital of Ghana, but the capital of the Ashanti region is Kumasi. Kumasi means, so we're looking for a 4-letter word and a 5-letter word. So there's king, there's tree, there's lives, and there's Akan. But we're looking for tree. We put tree in there. Take out tree. And so the only other word that it could really be after tree has got to be lives. Okay? Kumasi means the tree lives. Okay? Okay, next one. The something is a unifying symbol of the Ashanti people. Okay? So we're looking for a 6-letter word and a 5-letter word. So obviously we take out Kumasi. So the only 6-letter word there now is golden. And we're looking for a 5-letter word. Okay, it could be Fanti, but it's actually stall. Okay. The golden stool is the unifying symbol of the Ashanti people. And I'm going to say some more about that in a minute. Okay. The king. Okay. So I've only got a few left, so I think we can guess what they are. The king is called Ashanti. Okay. The king is called Ashanti. Okay, so take that out. The king is called Ashanti. Okay, and obviously the last two, the Ashanti are part of the Akan, which includes the Fanti of the coastal region. So the Ashanti are part of the Akan, which includes the Fanti. Okay. Now the most famous Fanti of recent times is Kofi Annan, who was the Secretary General of the United Nations. He's probably the most famous Fanti of recent times. Okay, so that gives you a geographical perspective of the area of the Ashanti Kingdom. Here, the two founding characters, Osai Tutu and Okomfe Enochi. UNO was formed in the late 17th century. Kumasi means tree lives. As a member, I'll say that Accra is the capital of Ghana, but Kumasi is the heartland of the Ashanti people. The golden stool is a unifying symbol of the Ashanti people. Now, there was a meeting where, kind of all the societies have got their creation stories and legends and folk tales. Now, a part of the Ashanti epic is that Komfi Enochi conjured this golden stool down from the sky, and it's said to have settled in the lap of Osai Tutu, which was the signal that he was to be the first Ashanti Hene when all these Ashanti little kind of principalities came together to form the Ashanti Union. And the last war between the British and the Ashanti was actually based around this. The governor had demanded that the golden stool be given to him. Obviously, the Ashanti weren't going to have that because that's their national symbol. So they gave him a replica. When he got back to England, he found out that he had been duped. So that's when the last war was initiated in 1900, which is called either the War of the Golden Stool or the Yar Asantewa War. Now, Yar Asantewa was a queen mother, and she basically shamed the men because the men were a bit kind of reluctant to go to war and they were a bit indecisive. She stood up at this meeting and basically shamed the men, and she basically kind of oversaw that last fight against the British, which, as I say, is either known as the War of the Golden Stool or the Yar Asantewa War. Okay, and as I said, the Ashanti are part of their Kan, which includes the Fanti on the coastal region. Okay, so that just gives you an introduction to the start of the Ashanti Union. What I'm going to do now is introduce you to some of their artwork. Okay, this is called kente. This is called kente cloth. And when you see someone in Ghana wrapped in that, originally this was the apparel or the dress of the kings, the chiefs, and the elite, but has now become standard wear. But it's not worn. It's not everyday wear. It tends to be worn more at kind of functions and ceremonies, you know, weddings and such things. Okay, they're beautiful kente cloth. And here
I can't see
you
it.
can see. Oh, and here you can see the elite dressed in kente cloth with embellishments of gold, which we're going to look at some more. And I'm going to show you some more kente cloth. This is seen as a national cloth of Ghana. If you say to anyone cloth or textiles in Ghana, they'll mention kente first. So there we have all these rich colours. So these are kind of thin strips. They're woven as thin strips, and then they're stitched together to make these garments. But just a lovely fusion of colour. Just lovely. It's and when you actually see people wrapped in this in Ghana, it's something to see. The first time I ever saw someone in Ghana wrapped in this, I just watched them until they went out of sight. Okay, and the people on the eastern side of Ghana, called it Ebe, they also produce kente. Just a lovely, rich fusion of a colour. Okay, and so forth. But this is my favourite picture. This is the one that kind of resonates with me the most. Okay. So, for those who are into bling, this is the section of the lesson you'll appreciate the most. These were the original, or amongst the original people of bling, because it was gold from the Ashanti region that was used to fuel the currencies of Europe and Asia. It was gold that was taken across the desert or across the Atlantic. And then as far as the gold that went across Asia, that went across the Indian Ocean, that came from places like Zimbabwe, and then was taken to the Mozambique coast, such as Sofala, and then taken across. But the ones that fueled the European and North African societies came from the Ashanti region, went across the desert and across the Atlantic Ocean. Okay, gold. We're going to look at the gold of the Ashanti, of the Akan, and all these kind of but these great displays wouldn't be an everyday thing. It would be at important national celebrations such as the Yam Festival. So the yam is a food which is part of their staple. Now, for those of you who know something around Caribbean and West African food, I don't like sweet potato, but I love yam and a green banana. And as I say, yam is a staple of the Ashanti people. So there would be a national celebration every year for the Yam Festival. You can see everywhere you look, see these gold rings and bracelets. Everywhere, sandals, helmet, headband, headrest. Rings. That's a stunning one, that one. Necklaces. So you can see, as well as being traders in gold, they were also great craftsmen. You know, goldsmithing of the highest level. You know, and even the you know, kind of the officials would have some kind of gold embellishment on them as well. More rings. Ceremonial swords, as you can see, they're not sharpened. So these were just, they weren't used in war. They were ornamental and were often given away as gifts. These were filials, which were found on the top of staffs of office or on top of umbrellas. So you can see top of the ceremonial staffs. So the officials who use these as kind of regalia of office. This is one of the symbols, the Sankofa bird, saying, so the significance of this is that you look back to go forward. So basically, if you have your roots, if you have knowledge of the strength of your roots, that can help you to propel you forward, whatever's going on. So this is the Sankofa bird, looking back to go forward. Okay, and then the Akan peoples of the Ivory Coast, and we're going to talk a bit more about them. These pendants. And there was, as you know, a lot of the European artists of the first part of the 20th century were influenced by African art. And we tend to use that more as a general statement, but through this I'm able to kind of pinpoint certain cultures that kind of influence these artists. So one of the people that influenced artists such as Picasso and Matisse, Derain and Vlaminck were the Baule. So the Baule are part of the Akan, as the Ashanti are. Originally from Ghana, there was a struggle between two different opposing factions about who's going to produce the next king. The people who became known as the Baule left Ghana and settled in the Ivory Coast. And artists such as, probably the artist that I can think of who was influenced the most by the Baule is a man, an Italian Jewish man called Modigliani. He produced a sculpture called Woman's Head in 1912. And if you look at it, it produces the same motifs that you have here, with the almond eyes, the elongated nose, the minuscule mouth. So please investigate a piece of art by Modigliani which is called Woman's Head. And this is a book on the bow there, you will see what I'm talking about. There's almond eyes, the elongated nose, the minuscule, the small mouth, and these are these are the recognisable motifs of the Bowlet art. Once again, you can see it there: thin nose, almond eyes, the small mouth. This obviously a tribute to an elder. You see the long plaited beard. So these are kind of motifs that Modigliani borrowed. And what I'm just going to do is go back to the... Okay, where we can see some more of these gold pendants. The same motifs, look, small, the minuscule mouth, elongated nose, the almond eyes. Okay, and because we're talking about kingdoms, it's good to mention other societies who influenced the artists. So the Kuba, there's the Kuba kingdom in the Congo, the Luba kingdom also in the Congo, the Mangbetu kingdom in the Congo. There was all these kingdoms. It wasn't just, I mean, today we're focused on the Ashanti of the Akan peoples, but there were kingdoms all over. So if I can mention some other great kings and queens, Queen Unzinga of Angola. There's all different spellings of her name, but let me give you one. Nzinga. So Queen Unzinga of Angola. There was Queen Amina. Well, the jury's still out on whether she was actually given the status of a queen. Some people say princess, but anyway. So whichever one you want to choose, queen, princess. So that's Amina of Nigeria. King Idris Aluma of Chad. We've already mentioned Queen Yaa Asantewaa, the Queen Mother of Ghana. Another Queen Mother is Queen Idia of Benin. So I'm just trying to give you although we're focused on the on the Ashanti of the Akan, just to let you know that there was kingdoms all over sub-Saharan Africa. Okay, so that concludes the lesson today. And for homework, all I want you to do is just to write a statement, whether you write it yourself or you dictate it to someone, just talking about the art. So whether you want to focus on the gold art, the kente cloth, just say something about the art that the Ashanti people produced. So as I say, this kingdom, sometimes called an empire, went from basically the end of the 17th century, or we say the beginning of 18th century, from say 1700 up until 1900, when the Ashanti fought their last war against the British. So for 200 years, they basically controlled that area of the majority of present-day Ghana, parts of neighbouring Ivory Coast and Togo. But as I say, this is just one of the kingdoms amongst the many kingdoms of sub-Saharan Africa. Thank you very much. Oh, Shell's going to do some drumming.
Do it.
Oh yeah. Okay. And as I said earlier, one of the festivals or one of the national events where you see the kings and chiefs come out in all their refinery, the highest quality kente cloth and these gold adornments, was the Yam Festival, which, as I say, was a national celebration. So in recognition of that, I'm just going to play an upbeat drum piece. So if anyone feels to dance, anyone wants to jump around, this is the time to jump around. So I'm just gonna just for a couple of minutes to conclude the celebration of the kings and queens of Africa, and especially the Ashanti. I'm just gonna drum a little while for you. Thank you.